Hi guys, today I want to quickly cover a topic that I thought was more well known amongst people who have researched the New World Order, but I've gotten a lot of questions about sodium fluoride, and I want to just go ahead and make a video about that. Basically, sodium fluoride is a toxic chemical that is put into our water supply. This was a thing that we got all the propaganda in elementary school. Remember that when the dentist came in and handed us pamphlets on how great the fluoride is in our water system? Of course, we never saw doctors come in and tell us to eat healthy or anything like that. But we did have the dentist come in and give us a ton of propaganda saying sodium fluoride is great in our water supply and it'll just give you fantastic teeth and whatever else. And basically, you have to understand the roots of where sodium fluoride was actually put into the water supply. Believe it or not, it was done by the Nazis against the Jews in the concentration camps. I'm going to put tons of links in my information box about this because it's very important. The Nazis did it against the Jews because they had a bunch of eugenics experiments where they found that sodium fluoride made people more docile, subservient, and sterile, which is exactly what they wanted to do to the Jews in those camps. And I'm not going to get into the great debate on how it found its way into this country, but I will tell you this much. The government, our United States government, gave a ton of propaganda to local municipalities to convince them to put it in our water supply. It is a very toxic chemical. I do personally believe it is making people more docile and more subservient. Please do the research on it. But I'm going to just relay to you a little fact. This tube of toothpaste should be a very well-known brand to all of you. If not, I don't know what planet you're from or you're in another country, but it's a very common brand of toothpaste. And on the back side of it, it says, if more than used for brushing is accidentally swallowed, get medical help or contact Poison Control Center right away. Now, whenever we watch the commercials for this brand of toothpaste, I know they just slather it on there, and that's what most of us do. We put that nice line on there. But really, you're supposed to use a pea-size amount of toothpaste on your toothbrush. Now, ironically, that pea-size amount of toothpaste has as much sodium fluoride that you're supposed to spit out is 8 ounces of drinking water, or that's about 2/3 of a can of, like a soft drink can, soda pop, Coke, whatever you call it in your neck of the woods. About 2/3 of that can is 8 ounces. And if you swallow more than that, you're supposed to contact Poison Control. Yet our government tells us to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. Now that's quite amazing that our government is interested in poisoning us on their own recommendation when the ADA right here tells us to contact Poison Control if we swallow more than 8 ounces of the equivalent amount of sodium fluoride in our water. Now, guys, this is something you need to research because I know it sounds strange from where some of you are sitting. It was like that for me about 5 years ago, and I was like, come on, fluoride, that's great for your teeth. That's what they told me in elementary school. It's got to be true. It's got to be real. This is just a bunch of malarkey. This is down Conspiracy Boulevard. No one knows what they're talking about. But let me tell you something. I decided to quit drinking sodium fluoride, and it's made an incredible difference in my attitude. It's made an incredible difference in my life, incredible difference in my mental clarity. And we had such a great result from quitting the sodium fluoride that we even quit using it in our toothpaste, and now we use all-natural toothpaste. This in particular brand, the Tom's, there's a bunch of different brands that don't contain fluoride in it at all, and I highly recommend you try it because since I've been using this toothpaste, not one person in my family has had a cavity, which is very amazing because before that, with 5 children, my wife and myself, sure enough, one trip to the dentist every 6 months would usually equate to a cavity and among somebody. Now, we do go to a natural dentist who doesn't do the fluoride treatments and thinks the same way that we do. So it's been a wonderful experience, and I do feel if most of you do the research on sodium fluoride, you will decide to get off it immediately. Now I'm going to talk briefly about how you can get water without sodium fluoride in it. One of the ways is you can filter it, and you have to use a reverse osmosis filter. I prefer a 5-stage with a reverse osmosis at the end, and that'll remove about 95% of the fluoride. Another way that's a little bit more expensive is using an aluminum filter, and you can find them for about $35 a piece. I've never known anybody who has used them, but apparently they work fantastic, but they are quite pricey because you have to replace them about once to twice a month, and depending on how much water you pass through that filter. And for a lot of us, we don't want to pay $35 to $70 a month in order to have fluoride taken out of our water. And the third way that I know of is to distill your water, and that is used through a simple water distiller that you can find on eBay, or you can build a solar still and allow the sun to distill your water. Boiling will not remove the fluoride. In fact, it concentrates it because sodium fluoride boils at a higher, or turns into steam at a higher temperature than water. So as you're reducing the amount of H2O within a pot of water, it's only concentrating that fluoride even more whenever you boil water. Freezing it won't remove sodium fluoride. I've seen a few people ask that question. It just simply freezes it and then it melts just with the regular H2O. So if you're very interested in what I'm saying, and I hope that you are, because this can make a great difference in your life and in your health and in your mental clarity, please do the research. Check out my information box. There's a bunch of documentaries and different articles that I posted down there, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.